morning, class. Today is Monday, April 6, 2020, and today is our first lesson in math. But before I do that, I would like to show you some things. I'm thinking I'm going to have this for a snack today, an orange. You know, walking up over here to my desk, I stepped on something and it hurt, and look what it was. What is it? It's a dice that I found on the floor. I make sure to grab my water so that I can make sure I have my water today. And this morning I was doing some cleaning up and I thought I would make sure that we had plenty of toilet paper in our bathrooms today. You're probably wondering, why is Miss Castillo showing me these things? Well, it kind of ties into our lesson today. We are going to be talking about 3D shapes. So why don't we start off our lesson like we always do by reading our job. We'll read together. Ready? I will identify 3D shapes. Let's start with the first thing that I showed you. We all know what this is. This is an orange. It's a mandarin orange. Some of you might know it as cuties. I really like these. Now we're talking about shapes. What is this called? A sphere. Right here, guys. Sphere. And when we talk about 3D shapes, when we describe them, we talk about their surfaces. If they're curved or flat. We talk about the faces. A face would be a flat surface. Does a sphere have a flat surface? No. So there are 0 faces on a sphere. And then we can also talk about the vertex, the corner, or if there's more than one, we call them vertices. Does a sphere have any corners? 0 vertices. And then last, we can talk about the edges. This is where the faces meet. Well, a sphere does not have any faces, so it does not have any edges. So 0 faces, 0 vertices, 0 edges, and we say that it has a curved surface. We can talk about a cube, and we can say some things about describing it by talking about the flat surface. We do see some flat surfaces, faces on a cube. We know there's 6 numbers on a die, so that can give us a clue that a cube has 6 faces. And then when we talk about the vertices, the corners, like this would be a corner here. This would be a corner here. The bottom part here would be a corner. And then this would be a corner. If we count all the corners on a cube, we will count 8. 8 vertices. And then last we can talk about the edges. Remember, that's where the faces, this is a face, this flat part here is a face. This is a face right here. If we were to count all the edges where the faces come together, so for example, this part right here is an edge. Okay. This part up and down here is an edge. This is an edge. We will count 12 edges on our cube. So they're flat surfaces, the flat face, 6 faces, 8 vertices, 12 edges. Let's move on to our sphere. Do you remember what I showed you? This could be an example of a, did I say sphere? I meant cylinder. You guys are probably already correcting me. This is an example of a cylinder. A cylinder, let's talk about how we could describe that. Does it have any curved surfaces? Does it have any flat surfaces? I did also show you something else. Here we go. This is another example of a cylinder. Some curved edges and flat surfaces. Curved, I may have said edges, but I meant curved surfaces, flat surfaces. How many flat surfaces does a cylinder have? Well, we see here, here's one. We flip it around. Here's the other one. So we would say that it has curved and flat surfaces, two faces, 1 and 2. And does a cylinder have any corners, any vertices? 0. And we don't have any edges because that would be where our edges would meet, our faces would meet. So there's 0 edges. The last one I want to talk to you about, I'm going to have to stand up and show you. Right here, guys, can you see that? I've got a trumpet cone. And I bet you can guess what the name of that shape is, that 3D shape. You said cone, you would be correct. And when we look at a cone, we have some flat and curved surfaces. We can see the bottom of our cone is flat, but then we do have the curved surface here. Okay, what else could we say about our cone? Well, we only have one flat face, flat surface, so it's going to be one face, and that was the bottom of the cone. Do we have any corners or points? Yep, at the very top, if you notice, we have one corner right there, and we have 0 edges. Can you think of some other examples of 3D shapes that we might find around our home? That's going to be something that you're going to do. You guys are going to go on a 3D hunt. But let's review the shapes that we talked about today. Cone, one face, one vertice, 0 edges, and it has both curved and flat surfaces. Sphere, 0 faces, 0 vertices, 0 edges, and it's curved. Cube, 6 faces, and remember, on our dice, we know we have 6 sides, so that could give us a clue about how many faces there are. So 6 faces, 8 vertices, which are corners, and 12 edges if you count every place where the faces meet. Last, we talked about the cylinder. We talked about how the cylinder has 2 faces, the bottom and the top. We said there were 0 vertices, 0 corners, and 0 edges. And we also said that a cylinder has curved surface and flat surface. So at the end of this video, before you actually start your activity, you're going to click on some links that I'm going to send you that you're going to see in your assignment. You're going to watch the videos first, then you're going to move on to your activity. And that activity, I'm going to explain to you, is a 3D scavenger hunt in your home. So I want you to see if you can find some objects in your house that match these. So I'm going to tell you which one of these you're going to search for. So you're going to search for, cones, cubes, spheres, and cylinders. We didn't talk about the rectangular prism, so that's not one I want you to go and look for today. When you do that, you're going to take a picture of your work. So what you're going to do is going to take a journal, a piece of paper, and you're going to show me those things that you found. So for example, an orange. So what I would do is I would draw an orange, and this has an orange, here we go, marker. I'm going to draw my orange. I'm going to label it orange, but most importantly, I'm also going to label it with the name of the 3D shape. Remember, today we're just working on identifying 3D shapes. So here's an example of what your work might look like. I wrote an orange. I labeled it orange, but I also labeled it with the name of the 3D shape. Don't forget to put your date up at the top of your paper. So today is April 6, 2020, so that would be 4-6-20. I would then also draw a cone, if I found a cone, an example of a cone, if I found something in my home. I would then also draw my dice. That's another example of a 3D shape that I chose. So I could draw a picture of my cone here, of my cube, and I would say dice, but then I would also label it with the name of the 3D shape. And this is a cube. So then this is what my work would look like. Okay, so, but before you do that, what I want you to do is I want you to click on the links, the video links, and watch these videos on 3D shapes. Then you will move on to your activity here. Now, if you have any questions about this activity, feel free to have mom or dad reach out to me, ask any questions that you need, because I am here to help you through this. I can't wait to see your work. Have a great day, guys.